First day.
It was the like hottest day on record of summer, and it was so hot in the building. Our dishwasher broke, and our parents were washing the dishes. They had aprons on, and they were washing the dishes. We ran out of like some paper products. We went through 4 bags of coffee, and we had Scouts donuts and ice cream, and it was like crazy, just fun.
House. Yeah. So full, so many people who like had no reason to stick their neck out for us, and they hopped behind the bar, started pulling shots, and it was just a really beautiful thing to like not just see the community rally around you, but also the other coffee shop employees like from around Greenville that should be our like competitors, but instead they were helping and just celebrating this whole thing for us. So it was amazing.
I feel like we really saw like the beauty of the community in Greenville, just how much they care for each other and want to see other small businesses thrive. Like so many owners of other small businesses were coming and showing their support and asking how they could help us. And it was like big companies that we were just wondering how they even knew about us. And we felt so loved and
supported.
Yeah, very supported.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Done.
Yay.
All right. What's the FaceTime call? What does that mean? What's that about?
Yeah. Okay, so basically, Nikki was on her pre-med track. We knew this. We were working in a coffee shop together for years. We loved working together, but she was going to be a doctor, and we knew that. Or like,
so either one. I was like, I had 2 challenges. I was either gonna take the MCAT again and apply for med school again, or I had an acceptance letter from MGH in Boston, and I was going in September, and I was leaving. And every time I thought about it, I cried. And that's when I called Katie.
Meanwhile, I'm in Australia and visiting a friend of ours, and I could tell just through texting Nikki that something was off. And so I just FaceTimed her while I was brushing my teeth, and I will never forget this. And she just was like, Katie, like, I don't know what to do. I think I'm just doing this because I told everybody I was going to do this. This is like, I want to kind of prove that I can, that I'm going to be successful, and that all the hard work I put into it is going to pay off. And if I was like, Nikki, that's not a good enough reason to do anything in your life. Like, that's none of that hard work is negated. It just is like, the ending is not going to look the way that maybe you always thought it would be. But your life is so short to do something that you're doing just to check a box. And she was like, that's true, but if not this, what do I do? And I had the toothbrush in my mouth, and I was like, I'll tell you exactly what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And I spit, and I was like, you're gonna open a coffee shop with me.
And then I just said, okay. And she had said that so many times in the past to me, and I was like, no, Katie, I'm going to med school. And she was like, oh, I can never talk you out of it.
Yeah.
And this specific day, she was like, you're gonna do it. And I said, okay. And I told my parents, I was like, this is crazy, right? And they're like, no, it makes so much sense.
Yeah. And so from there on, I mean, the most incredible thing about Nikki is that when you tell her something and she's in, she's in. So like, even before I got home, she was already like looking into business permits, looking into like different buildings, and we got real estate agents and just looking at different parts of Greenville. So like before I was even back in the United States, we were already like setting up schedules to meet with people, and like I just convinced her to do it. And she was like, let's do it. And if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it.
Yeah. I remember her texting me one morning because we were still like 14 hours apart.
Yeah,
in
time difference.
And she like texted me, it was really early on my end, and it was like, really just waiting for the text that you're dropping out. And I was like, I'm not dropping out. And like, we are gonna have a business license by the time you are home.
By the time your plane lands, we're having a business. I was like, great.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone wanting to start a business? Like, the process, the start, the first day, first couple months?
I feel like we talk about this so much. Like, so many people are afraid to do something that feels really risky or really scary, or maybe outside of their path. But ultimately, it doesn't matter, like, if you're only doing something just to appease your parents or your siblings or like your professor or anything that people have told you to do for most of your life, then you're not going to be happy doing it. And why are we just like sitting around doing things that we don't love to do when like the really great and beautiful thing is on the other side.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't feel like a risk if it's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd also just say for us, we knew specifically that who we kind of are is somebody who we just need to do it. So we couldn't just say like, one day we'll do this and let's take our time. For us, we needed to set a date. We needed to announce it so that we had some like fire under our butt. And that way we were super accountable and it was going to get done. So for us, we found the place, which we are so privileged in so many ways, but like we just hit the ground running. So whether or not you can announce your date right away, you should do things that are going to keep you accountable. So like, tell your friends and family, start booking and putting some money behind it, find your investor, send the email, don't wait, just do it. And then before you know it, you're open.
Show up.
Yeah. And then show up. Yeah.
I like the flow. This is good. Give me the inspiration behind the content. Where does it all come from? Like, where are you just like walking the store and you're just like, all right, we're lifting somebody up, throwing some coffee on someone's forehead.
Oh, our social content?
Yeah.
A lot of it is Nikki and I want to just, I think if you can sense us through the social media, then number one, you're going to feel right at home as soon as you get there. We want you to see the baristas' faces on our social media as much as you can. So you might not actually know them, but as soon as you come, you'll see a familiar face, even if you don't know anybody else there. And you kind of feel like you know us because we're showing you a little bit of who we are. And the number one most important thing about Day Drinkers is just feeling like you came home. Instead of going to a coffee shop, you just walked into your house and people know you and care about you and you're not just a number. Like, we're going to remember you and we're going to get something good out of what we're talking about. It's not just another transaction. And so we want our social media to really reflect that. So it might be the stupidest video you've ever seen of us like reenacting Simba for the Lion King when we're introducing our new barista. But I think that breaks down walls so that when you come in, you know we're not this pretentious, like judgmental crowd. You know that we're stupid and we want to joke and we want to be stupid and have this like connection with you. And so a lot of everything we post is just keeping the same voice as what you'll get when you're in person with us.
Yeah.
I always wondered, but that makes so much more sense because that's like how people feel it. That's how they see it. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's not, when people hit the share button, it's because they're saying, hey guys, this is where we go.
Yeah, these are our friends, or like these are, we hope so. And we want you to feel that inside the four walls of our building, but we want you to feel that when you're just at home too. Like we're keeping up with you almost.
I feel like people want to be a part of something and like so many brands, that's what they do. They like make you feel a part of it. Like it's like a club. And this, we just want it to be like people feeling a part of something. Like they can look at our Instagram and get to know us as much as possible and like feel like they're a part of Day Drinkers. And like they can become our friends. And
that's another reason we always address them as Day Drinkers. We're like, hey, Day Drinkers, it's us, da, da, da. Like, we're not just the Day Drinkers, we're all the Day Drinkers. So it's like, even in our verbiage, we're like, you are a part of this. You're a part. If you're reading this, you're a part.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and I feel like we care about that more than like posting a meal on Instagram and trying to sell a product.
Yeah.
Like, or like a coffee on Instagram.
We're selling an experience.
Yes, selling experience.
That's a good way to put it. What challenges have y'all gone through starting a business with your best friend?
I think like making sure that we're
say anything wrong.
I think like communicating so that resentment doesn't build because like so much of our friendship overlaps with business and like all the time with everything. And so many of our like individual jobs, we put the personal life into it and then try to take care of the person in the business life. And it's like, you can't cross personal and business. Like you have to keep like the friendship through all of it. And then you just have to like keep business. It's just business.
It's just
like, it's just a cup of coffee. It's just business. At the end of the day, is everybody feeling happy, loved, and healthy?
Yeah, I think Nikki and I wouldn't just tell anybody to open a business with your best friend.
No.
I think that Nikki and I have a really rare experience where we met doing a job. So we met being coworkers. And
Yeah.
so we knew before we were friends that we were good at working together. And so that was our foundation. And then we built a friendship from that. So we're very used to being colleagues.
Yeah.
And now we stopped for a while. There's some years in between that. But
Yeah.
I think for us, the really big thing is that we came up with a phrase to take any like tone of voice out of it. Every time we need to say something of like, hey, and did you order more matcha?
Yeah.
Or something like that. If I just said that, Nikki, I know Nikki so well that I know she's going to be like, oh my God, I didn't. She's going to think I failed her. Now she thinks she has to pick up slack, or that I'm not in this as much as she is. And like, there's so much behind that, but it's really just, all I was asking was, did you order matcha?
Yeah.
With nothing behind it. So every time we have like just a question that has no hidden meaning, no like tone of voice, we'll always say immunity necklace. We'll say immunity necklace.
Did you order the
matcha?
cups?
It's like safe word.
Yeah,
It's like the
safe
Yeah.
word. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And it's like I have nothing in this. I just need to know so that like, do I go order it? Should I go order it?
Yeah.
And I don't want to order too much matcha. So did you already order it?
Yeah.
Like, we have to just take out that, because at the end of the day, as my best friend, I want her to be proud of me. I want to make sure she's taken care of. Like, as my best friend, I care so deeply for this person. So there's more at stake
Yeah.
when it's not just my business partner, and I'd want my business partner to be like pleased and taken care of, but this is like my person. So
Yeah, because you want a smooth business.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And
this
an
is like
even better
that.
friendship.
Yeah. And so when you got it right and you're communicating, I mean, having this business together has made us communicators,
Yeah.
like incredible communicators with each other, even in our friendship.
You need
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And so,
Communication is the core of
been
every great
so-
relationship.
oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been great for us too. And I think it's taken to us a level of friendship that we never would have had without
Talk
being
about
owners.
mindset and being a business owner, like being pretty much optimistic or just negative all the time. Like, what is that? How's it impact like running a business? Because like,
Yeah.
I think we got a good blend of both.
Yeah. I feel like I can sometimes like put in the little like pessimistic stance, and then she's like, hey, Nikki, it's just coffee. Like,
Yeah.
it's just coffee. And she'll kind of like, I'll freak out, and I'll like just, I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like that paints it in a bad light. Like, I'll just be like, I'm so emotional, and
No.
I cry so much, and I'll just be like, oh my gosh, I failed you on this, and oh my gosh, like, what about this? And she's like, it's okay, it's just coffee. And I'm like, okay.
I'm like
It's just
literally
coffee.
worst case scenario that anything could ever happen for us is that like somebody doesn't get a cup of coffee that day.
Yeah.
We forget to order the beans.
Yep.
Well, oh, shucks, we closed for the day.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it'll hurt for a second, but it's not like we're curing cancer over here. Like you can go to another coffee shop. You don't have to come to us. So I just always try to keep that like frame of mind that the very worst that can happen, we can fix. We can always get that coffee there. We can always like order backup cups, and
Yeah.
we can do anything, but like nothing is worth our peace.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to give up our inner peace. And like, yes, we're stressed out and anxious, but I will guard her sanity and her peace of mind as much as I possibly can. And I am so much more willing to like let things in the business fall off for a second, because it's always only going to be a second,
Yeah.
and we'll pick it right back up, or we'll make it up a different way. But I'd rather her sleep at night than us like have the right kind of cups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or like be at odds all the time, or,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think we keep positive and negative constantly at the same time. She usually goes to worst case scenario. I will always go to like, nah, we'll figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
so we're good
Good
for each
balance.
other in that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
how do y'all decompose?
Decompose?
Decompress. Decompress.
I mean, I guess slowly.
I guess we're all just dying a little bit every day.
Decompress. Slowly.
I think we're kind of figuring that out right now.
We
Like
are.
in our personal lives. Just like what that looks like and how do we turn it off. And I feel like lately, I don't know, I think personally for me, I've been shutting my phone off or like putting on Do Not Disturb earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Like once I know that everything's fine, like I'll just put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Yeah, I like to read.
And sometimes
Read a
when she
lot.
does that, she doesn't get my text that I've left heavy cream on her front
Yeah.
porch. And I'll be like, the sour cream.
Yeah.
I think we are both trying to be better at that because, I mean, if we're left to our own devices, we run ourselves rampant. Like, is that the right word? We run ourselves crazy. Like, we're so exhausted. And so we're both really trying to keep those boundaries of our life. And we're not good at resting because we're both just go, go, go.
Yeah.
But something we have for us that's been working really well is we both love to thrift.
Yeah.
And so we work that into our business plan. So we sell thrift and vintage clothes at the shop. And it is a way that we feel like we're doing, like we're tricking ourselves almost. Where when we're thrifting together, it feels like we're just having fun. But we can in our head be like, but this is okay because
This is for
like I'm not
business.
wasting my time. This is going to be for the business.
Yeah.
But we're actually just
Yeah.
having a great time and being dumb together. So
Yeah.
it's been a good thing for us to have something that we're just friends hanging out doing,
Yeah.
but still benefiting like our business.
Yeah.
But it's a good time for us just to be together and not be co-owners. We're just
Yeah.
like
Just picking out
hanging.
clothes.
Dang.
And I feel like I just thought of this, but like we travel pretty
frequently.
frequently. I would say more than the normal human.
We care about
But-
it so much. We both want to see the entire world. And so we travel, we make trips together as often as we can. And that's just where we save for it. So like we're not rolling in it by any means.
Yeah.
But we're both trying to go like, we're struggling. Small business owner.
Yeah.
But we save. And that's our thing that we spend our money on. And that's
Yeah.
our refresh every single
Yeah.
time. Every time we get to go somewhere new.
Yeah.
It's like a
good.
deep
I
breath.
love to travel.
And we just released our new coffee called
Yes. Yeah, we just started a coffee called Travel Fund.
Yeah, we did.
That's cool.
We love
Yeah.
it so much. So we just like
I thought
created
that
a new
was a
blend.
travel fund. I thought that was when you buy the box and you can stick $20 in there like once a day, and you end up having like so much money.
Oh, cute. We should tell
We-
people to do that. Like
yeah.
save your box and
No,
use it.
No, that your box. Yeah, your
Yeah.
box.
So the
Yeah.
box
Yeah.
holds the coffee.
Yeah, but there's boxes named Save, like Save.
Yeah.
And they literally, you insert cash during the day of the month, and in the bottom of the box it just saves it. So you mark off the day you put
Oh,
money
that's
there.
cool.
So if you
We could
had
use that as like
yes,
save your
in
box. Use it for
and save
Excel.
I'm gonna do that in my personal life.
I know. I'm gonna grab one too and do that.
I
I
know.
thought that's what your box. I thought that's what your box was.
No, that's so smart though.
Yeah.
You can add it to it.
We will. We'll be like,
Yeah.
save your box.
Save your box
Yeah.
and save your money.
Yeah.
And once
that's
you've
fun.
saved a full box of money, give it to us.
Yeah. And then donate it to your local barista.
What's one low and what's one high?
Yeah.
Like the day, the experience, the time when y'all can remember where there was like a low.
Oh yeah.
I know a low.
Me too. You go first.
We always say that we wish we had the camera footage of the Airbnb behind the shop, because there was one specific day in like February or something. February, I think, where we worked together and I just was super off, like very off, very drained, and
Rightfully so.
yeah, we came out the back door and we threw our purses down and we just were like spilling everything, and then we just cried and then we hugged, and then it was
Nikki had
like a wake-up call.
Yeah, we both had stuff that we had wanted to talk to each other about, and this is way before we've ever figured out like how to communicate in a like beneficial way with each other. And so we were still very scared to like bring something up to each other based off of like, well, in regards to work.
Yeah.
And so, you know, someone will be like, I feel like I'm doing more, and I feel like you need to step up, or you don't ever want to tell your best friend that, and like
Yeah.
you don't want to hurt their feelings, or you just like different stuff that could potentially be like you would assume would be hurtful to someone. You don't ever want to say that.
confrontational, like,
Yeah,
it's not always-
you don't want to be confrontational. Yeah, and so I mean, when Nikki's mad, you know she's mad, but she hides it for so long, and then that whole day she was like
Cleaning.
like cleaning angrily, and I was like, and the customers were like, is everything okay with Nikki? And I was like, she's fine. And she was back there and she was like, and then at the end of the day, we're locking the door. I have my coat in my arm. She's got her purse and stuff, and she locks the door. And I was like, hey, I think I was like, I don't know what's wrong, but you cannot act that way behind the bar. Like, you have to, like, if you're mad, you better fake it. Because, like, people can't hold on to that when they walk in. And she was like, well, I'm upset or something, and whatever. We, like, went right to it. And then I just remember this moment where I was like, you know what? And I took my jacket and I threw it down. And she, like, put her stuff down too.
And then we got a fist fight.
Yeah, and then we were
No,
like,
kidding.
I grabbed her hair and she grabbed it. But we were like, we just immediately were like screaming at each other. And it sounds horrible, but we needed it so bad. And then we both burst into tears and we were like, ah, at the very end, we were like, I love you. And
Yeah.
like,
I think what people don't realize is like your business partner, it's like a marriage. Like the amount of communication it requires and the amount that you spend with each other, the like amount of decisions that you're making with each other is literally like a marriage. Like you are making decisions for
the both of you
that affect both of your lives, that affect your business, like which is like your baby, and you just have to communicate. And if you don't, it just like builds and resentment builds, and then you're screaming on the back steps.
But it was so good and so healthy, and like we needed it. We needed this fight. And so I think that first time for business owners, I would tell anybody that don't be scared of the argument. Don't be scared of the confrontation, because afterwards it just takes so much weight off of your shoulders, because not only were you heard, we just all want to be heard at the end of the day. And you're heard, but then things can take good change. Like it's about to change. It's about to go somewhere better than it was. And all it took was saying the hard thing. But if you can do it knowing that both of your motivations are the same, you both want the same thing. So I would just say, don't be scared of the confrontation.
Yeah.
Or the fight.
Yeah.
No, that's good. We're done.
Dope.